Hello and welcome to the channel. So today I'm just going to be creating some mixed media journal pages, or double spread to be precise, and I decided to use the mixed media craft o'clock collection called Hazy Street. These are fantastic papers made in Poland, and I am in love with the prints and how they are perfect for mixed media. So in today's video, I also am going to be using a lot of Sinlogos products. These are stencils designed by my friend Nuneka, and of course they have stencils designed by some other designers. And Sinlogos is a Spanish brand available all over Spain. And of course, if you need something specifically, get in touch with me, get in touch with Nunu, and we'll see how it can be sent to you. The brand is also available in the Spanish store La Tienda de la Manualidades, which is an online store as well as offline, and they have a whole lot of products for all our crafty needs. That's a look at that paper. I am just quickly going to flip through a few pages to show you the collection. And I really love the abstract prints, the way the colors work, the designs, and generally everything about this collection. And what I have done is I have chosen a piece of paper from the collection and trimmed it out for my double page spread. So here I just have a nice cardstock piece, and I would like to layer my pieces of pattern paper over it for my background. And so I have cut it to about 8.5 inches by 6 inches, a single sheet of paper, and I still have some leftover pieces which I think I can use for layers, I can use for die cuts, anything really. So I'm just setting those aside. Now before I really begin working on the background, I want to fussy cut some of these elements from this particular sheet. So I'm just going to do that and be back. Now I have cut out some of the elements, and I particularly cut out these tags and these hexagons because I intend to use this particular stencil which will bring in the hexagonal pattern that I want, as well as some of these hexagon chipboards. So that's my theme, and that's what I'm working around. But before I begin doing anything, I need to prime my pages. I am doing this because I am still not too sure how much media or texture I would be adding to these existing textured pieces. Here my idea is to show you how we can always use textured pattern paper as a background, just add a little elements, layers, and create journal page out of it. So first I'm going to use some clear gesso and, like I said, prime my page. So now I would like to distress my edges, and for that I'm going to just scrape them to bring in a little distressed rough look, and then go in with Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. Now I would like to really bring the stitching from the background on the borders of the page to mimic stitches, but of course it would be a stamp. So here I have this 49 and Market Crazy Stitching stamp, and I've just chosen 2 of those, and I will be going in with some VersaFine Clear black ink and just create a nice border with this stitching. Okay, so what I've done is I've just stuck my pieces of pattern paper on my base, white cardstock, leaving a nice border. And here I've just used some double-sided tape to glue these down. Now, what I first want to do is add a little texture, and for that I've brought in my Distress Oxide, Fossilized Amber and Peeled Paint, the two colors that go perfectly well with the colors on my background, just to bring in a bit of these. So for that I'm going to be using this particular Sinlogos stencil, which is called Incognito. I also intend to use these tags somewhere here, so I'm going to add my stencil texture around this. So that's going to be very subtle, very sort of gentle, merging with the background, because I'm just bringing in the same colors, and that's exactly what I want, the kind of effect that I want for this. And now I'm just going to bring in this texture here on my tags as well. Meanwhile, I have just distressed my tags as well using vintage photo, and I'm going to slightly just scrap their edges as well to give them a nice rough look to match with my edges of the page. So this I'm just going to do very gently, randomly here and there. And here I have some Shabby ribbon in a sort of, I don't know what color this is, but it's like a light goldeny brown, and I'm just going to add it to my tags to sort of create the chords for these. Now time to add a little more texture, and for that I'm going to be using this Hexagon Sinlogos stencil, and I will be using this Decofoil Metallix Gel, which is in aged copper, which will go with the colors on my background. I'm just quickly going to place and see where I'd like my tags, so I know where to add my remaining texture. So that has given me some lovely texture on my background, bringing in that metallic touch of the brown or the copper. Now I will be mounting these tags with some pieces of chipboard to just bring depth and dimension. But first I have some assorted stamps here, and I'm just going to be using these and stamping with black ink as well as vintage photo randomly to just build and add more interest. So now I just off camera created a rough composition of how and where I'd like my hexagons and what my focal elements should be. These are just some resin molded elements here, a butterfly and a dragonfly, and I thought this would be perfect for my journal page. So what I'm going to do is glue all of these down in place, and then I'll start coloring them one by one. So first let's just stick everything down. Now to add some color to my hexagons and just gently enhance the colors in the background, I will be using Finnabair liquid acrylics. So here I have the avocado green, I have burnt sienna, I have Umber. I'm not too sure if I'll be using it. I'm going to add a little Carmine for some shading. And I'm also just going to bring in my Tiger Orange and True Yellow to see if I need those to enhance and add some contrast. So all I'm doing is just taking a drop out here on my glass mat itself, coloring the hexagons, misting it with water, adding a little shadow and depth. That's about it. With that done, I've just added a little shadow and highlight. Now time to color my focal elements, and I'm going to use the same liquid acrylics because that's the color that I'm working with. And here I'm going to bring in a little bit of that red, that's Carmine, with the yellow to create a brighter color so my focal elements are enhanced. To enhance these, I'm just going to use some black archival ink and edge them. That will just create some depth, a little bit of that shadow there, and you'll notice how something as small as this just pops, makes it all pop, and the colors look even more vibrant. So there you can see the difference. Now to bring in some more geometric shape but in the background. So I had fussy cut all of these earlier, but I'm not going to uproot them. I'm just going to make sure, and I'm just going to glue them completely flat. So what I also have done is use these sentiments by Nuneka from Sinlogos, mounted it on some cardstock, distressed the edges with the same distress oxides and glued it down to bring meaning to my page. I also randomly added some gold coppered glitter here and there, which sort of adds that touch of glamour as well as brings everything together. So that completes my double spread. I'm just going to bring it up close for you to see the details. I'm quite happy with the result, and I've enjoyed creating this. A different color combination, something from what I do, new exploring of mediums, and that's the result. I really hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the products are going to be listed in the description box below. Do hit the thumbs up to let me know if you like it. Your comments always encourage and motivate me. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.